The strength of Yahuwah teaches my hand to fight and my fist to war. Hallelujah. Psalms 144. Greetings, Israel, Judah. This is your brother DFG. Hey guys, I'm going to be short here. But I want to take a moment and talk to the men of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You know, stranger too if you want to listen in. And this is regarding, you know, where our sisters are in, you know, in relationship to the necessity of, you know, what can they give? What can they contribute? Do they have any value? You know, should they be doing what you can read about in the New Testament? You know, as a matter of fact, if you read 1 Corinthians and I want to say chapter 14, verse 34, 2 Titus, Titus chapter 2, think about 3 through 5, 2 Timothy chapter 2, somewhere between 12 and 15. You know, if you are a believer that that's the place for them, then I want you to listen into this message very, very, very clearly, okay? Especially you who claim to be, you know, the remnant of Israel. I'm talking about those of you who claim that you don't keep the New Testament and, you know, and you believe in, you know, Yahuwah and you don't believe in any other gods, you know, that, you know, you believe that, you know, the Tanakh is the way for us to teach and for us to learn, including the Apocrypha books. But I'm talking, and they're not Apocryphal books anyway. Jasher, Genesis are not Apocryphal books, no more than 1st Maccabees, 2nd Maccabees, and the rest of those books. Now, anyway, but if you know you're struggling with this particular thing, and what I'm talking about, you know, what is the actual role for the daughters of Zion? And I'm talking about the 110. I'm not talking about the little nappy, you know, the nasty nappy heads. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the whores. I'm talking about the daughters of Zion who keep Abba Yah's laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm talking about them. Those who are not caught up in any kind of idolatry whatsoever. As a matter of fact, if they find idolatry even anywhere in their personal property, you know, like we saw a sister do the other day, just grab it and go throw it straight to the trash can. I'm talking about those daughters. If you don't understand the role that those daughters have, okay, again, I want to help you, my brother. Because some of you are saying you're not Christians anymore, but you seem to have a Christian mentality. And I'm going to prove this to you. I'm going to say it to you again. Some of you claim you're not Christians. You don't believe in the New Testament, but you have a Christian mentality. You're just like those camps who run around and talk about and criticizing Christians and, you know, everybody else, but at the same time they're quoting out of the book of Acts, quoting the epistles of Paul. Like that's not sitting right over there in Christianity. Exact same doctrine they're teaching in Christianity. But if you profess to be a man of Israel and you've come out of that darkness, you're standing strong, you're standing on guard, you're standing your post, then I want to share this with you and I want you to listen intently because I believe your very soul is on the line. I believe that Yah has told this watchman to warn you and let you know that your very soul could be on the line because you don't realize it, but you're still in abominable behavior. Because if there's anything over in that New Testament that you're obeying, you're keeping, then it's an abomination. We're going to be studying, Yah willing, this Wednesday night in the Bible study. We're going to be, you know, I'm just going to tell you Maccabees, and it's 1st and 2nd Maccabees. We're going to be in Maccabees, and it's going to be a deep dive study, and I can assure my brothers and sisters, if you're able to be a part of that study, you want to be there. But there are some behaviors, even over there, that the heathens taught in their New Testament. Dietary things. And I'll say this to you. You know, you're no different If you're saying that, well, I don't eat any swine, pig, pork, but yet you over there, are embracing, again, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, Titus chapter 2, 2 Timothy chapter 2. Then that's a difference without a distinction. I'm going to say it again. That's a difference without a distinction. Because it's all coming out of the same garbage, all coming out of the same lying book. The book of the heathen. Better said, the book of the dead, the New Testament. But let me read this to you. And I'm going to tell my brothers and sisters, applies to who it applies to. If it does not apply to you, then listen in and, hey, stand with me. But if it applies to you, I would strongly suggest that you take this before Yahuwah and confess before Yahuwah. As we're told in 2 Chronicles, my people who are called by my name, if they will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear their prayers and I will heal them and I will heal them. He'll restore you. The restorative power of our Yahuwah or Yahuwah. That's the solution. If this behavior that I'm addressing right now applies to you, there's a way out. So you're not being condemned, but I am calling your ass out. Now let's go here, right here. Let's go in here. I'm going to read to you from the book of Judith. And it's an actual book. Quit all of the game playing here. It's in our Tanakh. Just so you can see, in case you're wondering, if you can see right here, I don't want to lose my place. What does that say? Isaiah, does it not? What does that say? Judith, does it not? Okay, same book. Let's go. Judith chapter 13. Now when the evening was come, and his servants had made haste to depart, Bagnus, who was a eunuch, shut his tent without, and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his lord, which was the governor, Hophorus. He was like the general, a 5-star general of Nebuchadnezzar's army. And they went to their beds, for they were all tired because of the feast they had participated in. Verse 2. And Judah was left alone in the tent, and Holofernes laying along upon his bed, for he was filled with wine. In other words, he was drunk. Now Judith had commanded her maid to stand outside of the bedchamber to wait for her coming, as she did daily. For she said she would go forth to her prayers, and she spoke to the eunuch, or the eunuch, Bagoras, according to the same purpose. So she told both of them. So all went forth, and none was left in the bedchamber, neither little nor great. Then Judah, standing by the bed, said in her heart, O Yahuwah of all power, look at this present time upon the works of my hands for the exaltation of Jerusalem. She said, let Jerusalem be praised. Let Jerusalem see your power. Let Jerusalem be elevated. For now is the time to help your people and to execute your enterprises to the destruction of the enemies which has risen up against us. As Psalm 83 says, the enemy is confederate against us. And now Judith is saying the same thing King David said. Our enemies have taken wise counsel, and now they're confederate against us to destroy us. This is the exact thing that this sister is saying. And then she came to the pillar of the bed, which was at Holofernes' head, and took down his sword from above him, and approached to his bed. And she took the hair of his head. She grabbed his hair. She grabbed his head by the hair on it, and said, "Strengthen me, O Yahuwah of Yasharel, this very day." And she hit him twice upon the neck with all her might, and she took away his head from him. In essence, she chopped his damn head off. And tumbled his body down from the bed and pulled down the canopy from the pillars. And immediately after she went forth and gave Holofernes' head to her maid. And she put it in a bag with the rest of her meat. So they two went together according to the custom unto prayer. And when they passed the camp, they encompassed the valley and went up to the mountain of Bethlehem and came to the gates thereof. And then said Judith afar off to the watchman at the gate, Open, open now the gate. Elohim, even our Yahuwah, is with us to show us his power yet in Jerusalem and his forces against the enemy, as he has done even this very day. Now when the men of her city heard her voice, they made a haste to go down to the gate of this, and they called for the elders of the city. And they all ran together, both small and great. And it was for it was strange unto them that she was come. So they went down to see what she wanted. And they opened the gate because they were all barricaded. The fort that they were in was surrounded. They were holding them hostage. The enemy, Holofernes and his whole army, had surrounded our people. Just like they did at the Masada, to starve them out. And then she said unto them with a loud voice, Praise Yahuwah, praise Yahuwah. I say, for he has not taken away his mercy from the house of Yasharel, but he has destroyed our enemies by my hands this night. By her hands. So she took the head out of the bag and she showed it to everyone. And the chief captain of the army of Asher, and behold the canopy where he did lie in his drunkenness, and Yahuwah has smitten him by the hand of a woman. And Yahuwah lives, who has kept me in my way that I went, and my countenance has deceived him to his destruction. And yet has he not committed sin with me to defile me or shame me. She said, I never let him lay his filthy heathen hands on me. And I still got his head because my appearance seduced him. He thought he was going to get me drunk. He got drunk. He thought he was going to slay me in his bed, but I slayed him by taking his head. And then all the people were wonderfully astonished and bowed themselves and worshipped Yahuwah and said on one accord, Blessed be you, O Elohim, Yahuwah, which has this day brought down the enemies of your people. And then said Yasha Yahuwah unto her, O daughter, blessed are you of Yahuwah above all the women upon this earth. And blessed Yahuwah, which has created the heavens and earth, which has directed you to cutting off the head of the chief of our enemies. For your confidence shall not depart from the heart of men, which will remember your power forever. The power, which will remember the power of Yahuwah forever. And Yahuwah turned these things to you for a perpetual praise, to visit you in the good things, because you have not spared your life for the affliction of our nation, but have revenged our ruin, walking a straight way before Elohim. And all of the people said, So be it, so be it. Now I'm going to say it one more time. For you brothers out there that struggle, when your brother bring forth daughters of Zion, for you brothers out there who struggle, who want to label all the daughters of Zion as wretched hoes, you're full of shit. Your mama must be a hoe too then. Now, last thing I'm going to say to my brothers, I'm talking about the righteous, the very small remnant among us. There are righteous daughters of Zion who have put their lives on the line, who have taken the heads of enemies to save our people. And it's ridiculous and very immature. Quite frankly, very tender and delicate. I would tell you, very gay. When you can't step back and recognize the accomplishments and how daughters contribute to the sons, how the mothers contribute to the father, how the women of Yasharel have contributed to the men. And again, I'll end this message saying this to you who can't deal with that. First of all, you're a Christian. Because the only Christian doctrines that tell our women to go hide and shut the F up. If this woman that went and hid and shut up, all our people would have been slaughtered. And so again, if you think that we can't recognize the daughters, or you got a problem with recognizing the daughter, you got a problem comment on the comment of your daughter, I'm going to tell you, take that little baby pee-wee dick you got and stick it up that little nasty, dirty rectum that you have. And go on back to your sweet Jesus, because that's where you want to be anyway, in this New Testament. Shalom.